Tamar Braxton had it all: fame, fortune, and a voice that could move millions. But behind the cameras, her life was nothing like what people imagined. You won't believe the struggles she faced, the battles she fought, and the shocking truth that almost ended everything. Tamar was more than just an award-winning singer. She was a survivor. And let me tell you, her journey was nothing short of heartbreaking. For years, Tamar had been open about her struggles with mental health. She talked about depression, anxiety, and the emotional weight she carried every single day. But here's the shocking part. Her struggles weren't just mental. She battled serious health conditions like pulmonary embolism and thoracic outlet syndrome, both of which required surgery. Even though she was smiling on stage, her body was failing her. Every breath she took was a fight, but the scariest battle was the one she fought in silence. Then came the night that changed everything. Tamar was at home with her 7-year-old son, Logan, her ex-husband, Vincent Herbert, and her boyfriend at the time, David Adefeso. What happened next was something no one saw coming. This is where it gets interesting. In a matter of moments, Tamar's world turned upside down. She was found unresponsive. Panic took over. David rushed to call for help, and within minutes, she was being taken to the hospital. The headlines exploded with rumors. People assumed she had taken a dangerous amount of drugs, that she had gone on a reckless binge. But Tamar had something to say about that. It didn't happen like that. Most people believe the rumors, but what makes this story different is the truth behind what really pushed her to that moment. Tamar described that time in her life as dark and unbearable. She didn't see a way out. Every day felt heavier than the last. It wasn't about one bad moment. It was years of pain, pressure, and feeling lost. The craziest part? No one around her even knew how deep her pain really went. Tamar was always known for being strong-willed, outspoken, and full of energy. But what people didn't see was the exhaustion behind her smile. She had been holding everything in for too long, and when life became too much to handle, it all came crashing down. Destiny took an unexpected turn, and in the blink of an eye, Tamar was lying in a hospital bed fighting for her life. Now, the real question was, how did she even get here? What really pushed her to the edge? The truth was far more heartbreaking than anyone could have imagined. Tamar Braxton may have survived that terrifying night, but survival didn't mean the battle was over. In fact, this is where it gets even more complicated. She had faced her past, confronted her trauma, and admitted she needed help. But what makes this story different is that even after hitting rock bottom, life didn't suddenly get easier. The world still had expectations, the industry still had demands, and Tamar still had battles to fight, some of them even worse than before. After her hospitalization, Tamar knew she had to step back from the toxic cycle that had nearly destroyed her. She had spent years giving everything to the entertainment industry, but what had it given her in return? Betrayal, exhaustion, and a public image she barely recognized. And let me tell you, she wasn't about to let it continue. One of the biggest blows came with her exit from The Real. Tamar had been a fan favorite, known for her unfiltered personality and undeniable chemistry with the other co-hosts. But in 2016, she was fired without warning. And here's the craziest part. She had no idea why. The network never gave her a real explanation, and Tamar was left heartbroken, confused, and humiliated. Rumors started swirling. Did her co-hosts have something to do with it? Was she being blackballed in the industry? The uncertainty ate away at her, and for the first time, she felt completely powerless over her own career. But that wasn't the only betrayal. Tamar had already been dealing with the breakdown of her marriage to music executive Vincent Herbert. To the public, they seemed like the perfect power couple, successful, talented, and deeply in love. But behind closed doors, things were falling apart. Their relationship was full of control struggles, financial issues, and infidelity rumors that never seemed to end. In 2017, after nearly 9 years of marriage, Tamar made a shocking decision. She filed for divorce, And just like that, the fairy tale was over. But here's the shocking part. Divorcing Vincent didn't bring Tamar peace. Instead, it brought even more chaos. Custody battles, financial disputes, and public scrutiny followed her every move. Suddenly, it felt like the whole world had turned against her. She was losing everything: her marriage, her career, and even her sense of self. And when you add years of unhealed trauma to that kind of pressure, the weight becomes unbearable. This is where destiny took an unexpected turn. Tamar tried to pick up the pieces. She turned to reality TV again, hoping for a fresh start. But instead of redemption, she found herself in another nightmare. The show Get Ya Life was supposed to give people a deeper look into her world, but instead, Tamar felt like her life was being sensationalized for ratings. She later admitted that the show was edited to make her look like someone she wasn't, and watching it back broke her spirit. It was like losing control of her own story all over again. The pressure became too much. Tamar was drowning, and no one seemed to notice, and that's when everything came crashing down. The night she was found unresponsive in a hotel room wasn't just about that one moment. It was the result of years of pain, pressure, and feeling like she had no escape. But here's the question: was Tamar finally ready to take control of her life, or was she about to fall even deeper into the darkness? Tamar Braxton had spent years trying to fight back, but the more she fought, the harder life pushed against her. After losing her marriage, her talk show, and nearly her own life, she had to make a choice. Would she let the pain consume her, or would she finally break free? You won't believe what happened next. After her suicide attempt, Tamar knew something had to change. She had spent too long trying to live up to everyone else's expectations, Hollywood's, her family's, even her fans. But now she was done pretending. She decided to put herself first, no matter what it took. And let me tell you, this was not an easy journey. One of the biggest challenges was healing her broken relationships. Her family had always been a source of both love and pain. On Braxton Family Values, the world had seen her explosive fights with her sisters, the deep betrayals, and the years of unresolved tension. Tamar often felt like the black sheep, the one always blamed, the one never fully understood, and when things got too toxic, she pulled away completely. But deep down, she still longed for peace with her family. Her mother, Evelyn Braxton, had made shocking accusations about Tamar's ex-husband, claiming that he had been abusive. The pain of those revelations added another layer to Tamar's struggles. She felt like she had no safe space, not in her career, not in her marriage, and not even in her own family. But now she was determined to find that safe space within herself. But here's the craziest part. Tamar didn't just step away from toxic relationships. She also started speaking out against the toxic side of the entertainment industry. For years, she had been stuck in contracts that made her feel like a slave. She was overworked, undervalued, and constantly pressured to play a role that wasn't truly her. After her hospitalization, she made a shocking move. She walked away from everything. She refused to do another reality show unless she had full control. She stopped chasing fame and started chasing peace. And this is where it gets interesting. Tamar had always been known for her strong personality, but now she was embracing a softer, more vulnerable side. She openly talked about therapy, self-care, and the importance of mental health, especially in the Black community. She used her platform to remind people that healing is possible, that no matter how dark things get, there is always a way forward. But here's the shocking part. Just when people thought Tamar was done with the spotlight, she made a comeback on her own terms. She returned to music, not for fame, but for passion. She chose projects that aligned with her growth. She focused on her son, Logan, making sure he grew up seeing his mother strong, happy, and in control of her own destiny. Tamar Braxton's journey has been one of extreme highs and devastating lows. She went from being one of the most promising voices in R&B to nearly losing everything. But instead of letting the industry break her, she found a way to rise again. And the craziest part, this is just the beginning of her new chapter. What do you think about Tamar's journey? Has she finally found her peace? Or is there still more to her story? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the most shocking celebrity stories.